Okay, cool. Hi everyone, gobble gobble, welcome back to Attract Mode, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone who observes it. I'm still Okapi, and on behalf of the whole team, so glad you're here with us this evening, and as always, thank you for your support. I do hope you saved some room for dessert, because Valeria has some sweet Sonic treats for us tonight, 2 different Tails-themed runs. Before we get into that, you know I gotta talk about us. So if it's your first time here, Lady Arcaders is an all-women's gaming collective, and all women in gaming are welcome. Our group has speedrunners, rhythm gamers, hey that's me, crafters, developers, casual fans, and so many other niches. If you feel like the mantle of Lady Arcader fits you, feel free to join us in our cozy private community. Our public Discord has all that info. And if Lady Arcader isn't a title that quite fits you, we still appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support, and we still invite you to join that public Discord to stay up to date on all of our happenings. But, you know, we gotta go fast, so I'm gonna keep the beginning intro fast. Not the only person, I'm sure, that has some excess food that needs to be burned off after feasting today. So let's get into that first Tails-themed showcase. Vale, take it away.
Hi everyone, it's me, Valeria. I've got Okapi with me, and Sonic here, he's in debt. Not just in rings, but in friends. And you know what? He's not making any luck in this casino, so let's get him out of here. Let's hop him in his tornado, so he can fly to West Side Island and meet who's gonna be his best friend. This is Sonic 2 Absolute, the remastered version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which the anniversary of was like 2 days ago. That's also Tails' birthday, and I figured what better way to celebrate that than to show off all of you my favorite version of the game he was introduced in.
So it's funny, I know you mentioned that, and I was doing some homework earlier today to make sure that I had correct information. And apparently Tails' birthday is disputed hotly in the community because the Mega Drive version came out a month after the Master System version, and like people are like saying that like the Master System version is the canonical birthday, and
yeah,
I don't know. Like there's a whole thing. Y'all know how the Sonic community is. They're very passionate about.
I got
things
sort of an
that
answer
are
for that.
kind of like hair splitty. Let's hear your excuse. Like what
well,
are you, Team October or Team November?
I'm Team November, but I'll tell you why after we get the run started. You'll notice that there's Sonic 3 music right now. The mod pack is don't worry about it. I'll explain that too. We're going to be in Emerald Hill for like 9 minutes, because this is an all Emeralds run. So I'm going to count us in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, the thing between those two, let's just get really controversial immediately. That's the 8-bit timeline that Tails' birthday is in October. This is the regular core timeline is where Tails is in November. So like we could just put them in 2 different ones. It's easy.
See, I took the coward's way out, and I just decided in my head that Tails is Korean, and one of them is his real birthday, and the other is his Korea birthday.
Huh. Well,
because for those of you that don't know, Korean, traditionally in South Korea, everyone's birthday is on January the 1st, which is, it's a thing. I don't really understand it much beyond
like,
that. It's just how their culture is.
That's interesting. I don't think that's how it works for Tails. I don't know if Korea got, I don't know when Korea got either of these games.
I don't know. I'm just thinking it's a similar situation to that. Like one's a cultural birthday and one is like the actual like day that he exited his mother's womb into the world.
Oh, something like that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think a month. I mean, I know he's a fox. You know that Tails is a fox. He's got 2 tails. How much do you know about Tails?
I know he doesn't run fast because he uses his tail as a propeller, but he is fast, and he hangs out with Sonic, and he doesn't like chili dogs quite as much.
I mean, it's hard to like chili dogs as much as Sonic, which, fun fact, was not anything to do with the games. until Sonic Unleashed. That's when they started bringing chili dogs into the game. That was all
as God intended.
Yeah. So yeah, Tails, he uses Tails to go fast like Sonic. We're not playing as Tails immediately right now, but he is imperative to this run because you can control his flight in this version of the game. So we're gonna make use of that. He can fly with those tails. He was born on West Side Island, as far as we know. He was bullied for having 2 tails, but when he met Sonic, seeing his cool demeanor and can-do attitude and his very cool playing because he loves machines, he was like, I want to be with this guy. He's great. And Sonic took a liking to Tails too, which is great because then Eggman invaded the island following Sonic for revenge, and now they have to team up to stop the Death Egg. Wild how that works out.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Yeah, the other thing I know about Tails is, of course, like, he's the engineer of the team and has built all sorts of wacky, amazing machines and mechs and vehicles and stuff to do all sorts of cool stuff throughout the series.
It's true. I should have got those rings. Okay, I have a backup, it's fine.
Also, welcome in to Raiders, and also, you're welcome. I'm the one that decided we get Sonic 3 music, because Vale asked me if I had strong opinions, and I said, oh yes I do, Sonic 3.
True. You may have noticed that the first act of Emerald Hill didn't have Sonic 3 music, it had Sonic Jam music. The theme of this mod pack is actually that I took the original versions of the songs that were remixed in Sonic Pocket Adventure, and I put that matching up the stages. Those of you who know that game will know that not all of Sonic 2's stages are in that game, so I had to make some stuff up. One being this music right here, the special stage music. You get a ballin' remix of the Sonic 3 title sound music for the special stage in that, and I wanted so bad to have a 16-bit version of it. There aren't any ones that I like, so I just did the Sonic 3 special stage music. Slightly sped up, like when it speeds up once. As far as tech goes for the special stages, this is the reason nobody does an All Emeralds run. There's no tech for it, it's just don't die. As long as you don't die, it's good. Otherwise, it's just a big old auto-scroller that takes like an additional 14 minutes to the run for not a whole lot of benefit as Supersonic, but I think this version adds a bit of it. There's some cool strats you can do in like Metropolis, especially when we get there.
Yeah, and of course, you know, there's the whole thing about having to learn the layout of all the races, because if you don't have really quick reaction times, it's really easy to bomb out of these.
That's the benefit of having played this game since I was 5 years old. This is literally my first game, the original Sonic 2, that I played on my own, which makes it ironic that this is like a speedrun that I eventually came to, because oh goodness, I messed up. Fix it. I keep messing up on this act, but Tails came back. He can save us. Look at this. That's good. If you know me, you know I've been hard on Sonic 2 for over the years. It's not my favorite game. Yeah, I don't want to play the original anymore because I have this game. Sonic 2 Absolute is perhaps top 5 Sonic games for me, which is a large. There's a lot of Sonic games.
There are a lot of Sonic games, and a lot of them are kusoge, to be polite about it, unfortunately.
I mean, I made a whole, like, ranking of them, and there's actually the majority of them are in this is fun despite its jankiness.
Oh yeah, no, like even like Sonic Heroes is fun, it's just undisputably kusoge.
That's arguable.
I like Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes is the game I describe as having fantastic aesthetic. It nails Sonic perfectly in both music and design. I just don't want to play it. And yet I still do. That's the problem.
I mean, there's a lot of games I feel that way about. Like I despise Battle Garega, the old shmup, but like I just can't stop playing it.
Yeah. I mean, I do myself to this with Sonic 1. We're gonna be playing more Sonic 1. I've done this before us on Lady Arcaders before during last. I did Amy. Not a big fan of... I'm like... I put Sonic 1 on the level of Sonic Heroes, personally. And 1 Forever makes it enjoyable enough that I can feel like I'm not being cheated by the game. I know this is a controversial opinion to have it here, but it's another game I describe as having fantastic aesthetic. I just don't want to play it. I'm going to be playing a version.
Yeah, kind of the way that I feel about it is it's kind of similar to like the first 3 Sonic games is kind of like Mega Man 1, 2, 3. Like Sonic 1 is like, okay, here's this idea we have.
Yeah, and it's gonna kick your butt.
And Sonic 2 is like, okay, we know this idea is good, but we need to polish it up a little bit and try some new things. And then Sonic 3 and Knuckles is like, okay, this is the game that we were really trying to make the whole time, and then it's just like one of the greatest games you've ever played, regardless of genre.
Absolutely. That is exactly how I feel about that game.
And that is how I feel about Mega Man 3. Like, it is, like, probably the best 2D Mega Man game, and it's not even close, but coincidentally, it's also the one that I don't like playing the most, because it's also really hard to speedrun, and play casually, for that matter. It's really hard.
It's one of the more brutal ones. That's why 2 is more popular, because it has the easy mode, or normal mode if you're in America.
See, I'm a coward, and I just play 5.
Yeah, 5 gives you so many 1-ups, it's great. I like 6 the best, actually. Like, 3's very close.
6 has some really interesting tech with the rush adapters.
That's the wrong blue character, though. We're supposed to be talking about Sonic. Rather, we're supposed to be talking about Tails.
Yeah, like, we're playing blue Blur games, and we're talking about the Blue Bomber. Shame on us.
So maybe I should talk a little more about the run. I started talking about it, how, like, Sonic 2 was my first game. I never thought I would actually speedrun that, but I started speedrunning this version. Not just any version, a category no one else plays, All Emeralds. It's not just that I have the only time for Sonic and Tails All Emeralds for Sonic 2 Absolute, and the only other one on the board, though I know another person who runs them as Tails. There's one other as Tails for All Emeralds. If you go to, like, Sonic 2 Vanilla, there's, like, literally 4 runs on the board for All Emeralds. There are 2 Sonic runs and 2 Knuckles runs. This is one of the least run categories across Sonic games between different versions. And I get it. Especially for Vanilla. It's just auto-scrollers that are kind of brutal. And you don't get a lot from Super Sonic. I'm not doing this boss very well, but at least I didn't get hit. What else can you ask for?
$1 million.
True. 1,000,000 rings. I don't know, like, this version really enhances the experience of getting All Emeralds, especially because those special stages are so much cooler. Also, say hi to South Island in the background. Bye, South Island.
Bye, South Island.
That's where Sonic flew here from. Anyway, speaking of South Island, the 8-bit version, in that, Tails just shows up on South Island because the 8-bit games never leave South Island. And, like, I've tried to fit them both in the same timeline, but it doesn't really work. Of course, there's also Tails' Adventure, which says he's from Coco Island. There's also an American version of that story that says that takes place after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and that actually fits perfectly in this timeline. So, there's a lot of variability in this series, especially with the early titles. There is a North Island and a North Star Island. North Star Island is where the recent Sonic Superstars takes place. North Island is where Bark the Polar Bear comes from, and I think you go there in Sonic the Fighters.
Sonic the Fighters is absolutely Kusoga.
I missed it. Completely didn't even try for that jump.
We love it when we get the cool tech when you don't mean to.
There's always a backup. There's always a backup. Thing I've learned about speedrunning, I think I was saying this in Sonic 1, which is funny. Know your backups.
truly unfortunate that we're already done with Chemical Plant, which is my favorite zone in Sonic 2, personally.
A banger of a zone. I agree, actually, fully. This is my favorite zone in this game.
But, like, not just the soundtrack, it's just, like, aesthetically very cool, and all the big ramps are a lot of fun.
I mean, the soundtrack, we had Angel Island Act 2 and Hydro City Act 2, which is... That's what... whatever it's called in Sonic Pocket Adventure, I can't remember right now, does. It doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah, and now we've got Mushroom Hill Zone from S3K, which is good.
Another banger.
Yeah, probably my favorite song in the series. We talked about that last night a little bit.
Yeah. I know we're not listening to the original soundtrack, but, like, it is funny to think, because I was doing a modless run earlier when I got a PB. Masato Nakamura, the original composer for this, really set the tone for what Sonic was like in the 90s, at least in America. It might have been Sonic CD in Japan.
Yeah, like, the early Sonic games definitely took full advantage of the fact that they had an FM synthesizer on the Genesis and the Mega Drive, which is something that the Super Nintendo did not have, and you could do some really funky things with it.
Yeah, like, people, like, still some artists I listen to on SoundCloud do some cool stuff with it to this day. And just the Sonic composers, both Masato Nakamura and, like 10 people that worked on 3 and Knuckles overall, they knew how to work that stuff. Like, these are some of the best sounding games on the Genesis.
Yeah, like there's always a game that you can point at and say, like this is what the system is truly capable of, and it's definitely Sonic for the Genesis.
Yeah. And then they, like, sort of rebooted that sound with the modern, with Adventure 2. Like, they made an entire shift in tone. It's interesting to think about. But, like, you get a lot of, like, motif callbacks in the cartoons from Sonic 2 specifically. I don't know if I'm doing good enough on this. I need to focus in a little. Like I said, there's no speed tech for the special stages. You just don't lose. If you lose, that's pretty much a burn killer. I have a couple backups for checkpoints, but it pretty much sacrifices a very fast strat I can do in Casino Night Act 2. Getting enough rings.
You just gotta... Oh, that's Parappa, never mind.
Gotta.
You gotta believe.
Okay. Just got it. I'll dial in on the next one, because these special stages just keep getting... Well, the next one's the hardest one, actually, so... Whew. And I also didn't forget to get the Chaos Emerald in this zone, which I did, like, practicing at one point. It's embarrassing.
That's how they get you.
That was a very good Egg Ken boss. Ooh. I just like to do this at the end of everything, just fly up here with Tails. Makes it easier to actually make the ring bonus go faster, because that's one thing you can do. We got the Gumball bonus. Smooth tech here where we wait for 5 seconds to get this, because we can't go faster than this block. So we might as well wait so that we don't waste our speed shoes.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I always found, like, kind of counterintuitive about Sonic speedruns. Like, for a game about going fast, there is a surprising amount of hurry up and wait in some of the runs. Like, especially if you're doing RTA, instead of going off of the in-game timer, because of the score bonus, like, making you sit there while it counts up. Sometimes it's faster to just chill.
Yeah, that was almost like a super good Casino Night 1, and then I got bounced all over that last pinball board.
On the other hand, though, 40 seconds flat.
Yeah, you love to see flat numbers like that.
Very satisfying.
So you notice that weird opening that just played? Before Jackpot Bonus started? I inverted the opening to... Oh, I need those rings. Oh no, I'm doing this all wrong. I need these rings. This is a very tight level. I inverted the opening to Gumball Bonus to make that, and then added it on myself. Because that's what the song actually does in Pocket Adventure. I don't have a synth to, like, make it myself, so that's how I did that. I'm trying to make it, like, as authentic as I can. Okay, here's the hard one.
What song was that? Like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's the Jackpot Bonus from Sonic and Knuckles. The one with the...
Okay, that's what I
with the slots. It's funny the choices they made for that game in terms of music, but weirdly enough, I think so far the Jackpot Bonus and the Gumball Bonus in Casino Night is the best fitting music so far. If only because, like, there's some weird matchups with the other ones. Like, yes, Mushroom Hill actually works really well for Aquatic Ruins. It's kind of weird next to Hydra City, but they're remixed in a way in Pocket Adventure that makes it so it actually works, I feel. Slightly. It's also all 8-bit in that, which helps.
I mean, there's also the Okapi route, which is I don't care, they both bang, and not really worry too much about it beyond that.
That is one method of making music mods. That's how I make my jazz mods, actually.
See, it's funny, because, like, when I do 2DX showcases, like, I, like, deliberate over, like, how songs flow and, like, mood and everything for a while, and then, like, here I am saying, I don't care, you know, music good.
Good. Pickle has brought up the eternal debate. Is it Hydrocity or Hydro City? Vote now on your phones. I do tend to default to Hydro City. The real ones know that the actual answer is Hydro Kitty. But sometimes it's just Splashy Fun Zone. Alright, six emeralds. That's the hardest one out of the way.
Yeah. Poland Spring Zone. Good answer.
Poland Spring Zone. That sounds delicious. There we go. We're gonna get, like, a couple re-listens to that so you can hear my scuffed sounding inverted music editing. I think, yeah, like, one of the devs said that they always thought Hydro City because, like, that's what the two words are, spacing, but, like, it is also sort of one word, so it's funny to say hydrocity, like velocity or something. With Emerald time. Now, while I don't feel this is as hard as the last one, this is a pattern that you need to know, and if you don't know the pattern, you're not gonna win. And
I lose, I don't know the pattern.
That's why it was so brutal when I first did it. I needed to do it like 3 times. It starts off, you just go left and right until you get this first double. Now it's... you stay on each side for 2 sets of rings until you can see that you have to start going back and forth again. See, I bet I messed it up. It's fine. Depends on how funny the bit is, basically. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Brian has the best answer. Just whichever one is going to upset the audience the most at that current moment.
You really are the most devious word family-friendly stream in Hydro City. What we do in the shadows reference. I don't know. I probably didn't say it correctly. We're good on rings, by the way.
Yeah, I see that. Like, you're no longer in debt. Like Warren Buffett with all these rings.
Tails. It's fine, we're still good on rings. Basically, there's two things you have to jump over in these end parts, and you have a scattering of rings here that are, like, just to laugh at you if you haven't gotten enough yet. But as long as you get those loops, and over this hill, and in the valley earlier, good. That's why I feel like this is slightly... like, the other one's a little more technical in its memorization.
Yeah, that's just like a double bird to anyone who hasn't gotten enough rings.
How do you pronounce Hydra City? Sandopolis. Sandopolis? Metropolis? We can now turn to Supersonic. If in this version, if I was playing Tails first and foremost, you could turn to Super Tails too. They added that. Great. But now we can be Yellow Sonic. So that we can do...
yeah, Yellow Sonic, my beloved.
This strat. Eggman just keeps trying to get us. This is an awful boss, otherwise.
Oh no, this boss is miserable.
Woo! Say goodbye to the Flickies and the Beckies.
Shoutouts to Flicky, underrated game.
It is. That's a great prequel to Sonic 3D Blast. Or the Master System. Got Mushroom Hill, Act 1, 2? Wait. This is Act 2.
Yeah, this is Act 2. You can tell because of the beginning.
It was... oh, that's not enough. Ooh, it was just enough. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I felt like this was going a little slow. I don't know. I guess my brain just registers music faster than it should normally. Alright, so now we are in the portion of the game where it's... if I play it correctly, we get Supersonic strats that I've been sort of trying to polish, but not like... I haven't been doing the best job, I don't think. Just the drop dash, because here's the secret about Supersonic. He's actually super wonky to play as in this. They just sped Sonic up. They didn't, like, tune him anything like I feel Sonic 3 does. And I've played Sonic 3 through enough with all emeralds to pretty much say with certainty Supersonic plays, like, a certain way in that. He's just fast and unwieldy in this. Also, I should probably note, Hilltop, we have started the levels that are not in Pocket Adventure, so I did have to make up doing Mushroom Hill for Act 1, and in this case, nice, I did not get hit by the Flame Gorgonaut. Marble Garden? I just thought it felt right. These rings, lightning shield straps.
Yeah, this works here, I think.
It's also Act 2, which I felt is more in the mountains. I'll also point out, the super music is fast-forwarded. I didn't make super music for this mod pack. Right.
Yeah, personally, I feel like Sonic music is more, like, about how the song matches the tempo of how you play the level, rather than, like, fitting, like, the aesthetic of the level.
Yeah. I think, like, there's certain ones that are, like, how could you really put Ice Cap on anything that isn't an ice level? How could you put Sandopolis on anything that isn't a sand level? I'll tell you how, you'll see later.
Like, you couldn't put Oil Ocean on anything that's not a confusing mess.
Got Endless Mine for Mystic Cave, a banger of a different genre. Because, you know, usually this song shreds, but hey, we're taking the Gentle Mine today.
If only we had the music from Sonic 1 Game Gear. Like, because that mine music was very good.
There's a strat here that I realized. You don't need to open up that bridge there. You could just jump over it. with Supersonic. I, like, just figured that out last night, I think.
Yeah, that's the answer to all of life's problems. Just become Supersonic.
There's, like, it's... I really had to, like... There's one Sonic 2 vanilla run I went off of to try and root this, but there was so much I had to alter. Oh, goodness. Because, I'm not gonna get... Oh, goodness. Tails? Tails, we are off course entirely. Help me, please. Come back, my son. I had to do a lot of this routing on my own, though, especially because of the way that Emerald Collection works differently in this. In the Vanilla Sonic 2, forgot what number, you spend your 50 rings to get the emeralds. So you can't do 2 at the same time. You can't do 2 in the same zone without recollecting all of the rings. All the rings respawn, but unlike that in this, I kept my 50 rings, each one, which is why I was able to get 3 emeralds in Emerald Hill Act 2. So that's how I had to first differ it from the vanilla Sonic 2 one I did. This is also different from how notable Tails speedrunner Flying Fox approaches her all emeralds run. She just gets all the emeralds in Act 2. I've determined that when you're playing as Sonic primarily, it is not speed conducive to collect those rings. You need Tails' flight to really, like, make that worthwhile. So
good choice for Oil Ocean here.
There's a lot of variety. They recently added the ability to spin dash on the oil in this, and I keep forgetting to do it there. That was not something that worked in the 2013 version of this game, so I'm still not used to doing it. But that is something that was in the vanilla one. That's something that has been restored. I don't always need it, though. This is actually... Okay, oil, please. Oil? Oil. Alright, I was saying this was going very well, and then that happened.
Yeah, you jinxed it.
Oil Ocean's literally my least favorite in this game, and we've messed that up, so Tails... not to be fast enough. It's fine. 56 is, like... solid. It's not horrible. Could be worse. Luckily, we don't have to deal with the oil in Act 2, because... it's not launch base. That's not why, but... why not?
Yeah, I timed out so many times in Oil Ocean 2 as a kid, just because it's such a confusing level if you don't know the route. Like, it's so easy to just go in circles.
Can't believe I did that! I need these rings. Please don't hurt me. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's fine, I don't actually need the rings. I've just been fighting the Eggman boss with Supersonic lately, and... well, we ain't doing that here. I don't know if it's even better. Okay. I always get this checkpoint for safety, because I'm almost guaranteed to die on this boss, even with the invincibility, because the oil's really weird in this. And I've not gotten a one cycle in this version in so long. It's possible to destroy Eggman in that one cycle there. It's so weird in this version. It's actually easier in vanilla for some reason. To me. I didn't even dodge that properly. I still needed 2 hits. Alright, good riddance to this stage.
Oh, and you didn't die, so...
it didn't, which means that's good for time.
We love time.
And now we're on to Metropolis, featuring Desert Palace. This is my favorite to have. How I've learned this is my favorite. Let's put it that way. Contrary to in the original Sonic 2, this is my least favorite zone. I actually dislike this more than Oil Ocean. And who can blame me? We've got slicers, we've got crab meat, we've got screws we have to run up.
Nah, I just find it miserable to play too. Like, even like with all the zips and clips from the speedrun, it's just an aggravating zone.
Yeah, but like, first off, I have Supersonic, so that makes things a little better. But also earlier you saw me using the Insta-Shield to deflect the Staryu's attacks. It's... it feels so good. The Insta-Shield is my favorite Sonic tech from classic games. It is one of the reasons that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is my favorite, for sure. and putting it in this game is... It's such a game changer. I've said this before when I showed Sonic 1 Forever. No, I didn't show Sonic 1 Forever here. I just say that all the time whenever I play Sonic 1 Forever. Because I played Amy on last. And we're playing Tails today, so that doesn't... Never mind. Still. I love the insta-shield, that's my point. That Chrome Gadget here is extremely fitting, actually.
Yeah, Chrome Gadget's in music.
Yeah. Metropolis is, like, historically the most rough, but adding Sonic's extra abilities, especially in this zone, drop dashing as super. That gets you the sub-minute. I didn't yet need to go off that block, but it's fine. Just run through these slicers, they can't hurt me. Slicers aren't real, they can't hurt you.
So true.
Nice. $55, that's actually really good for me. And I did fumble a little too, so hey.
Well, that's 2 of 3 down for Metropolis.
Yup, they had to make us suffer by adding 3 acts of Eggman's base, and it's not even the final stage like Scrap Brain was. There's also only 2 acts of Gigantic Angel, which is what Metropolis in Metropolis at Home on Pocket Edition is called. So I had to, like, just pick a song to put, and I thought the Glow Ball bonus from Sonic 3 worked very well. We used Jackpotting Gumball already, so... Okay. It feels so good to just drop dash around like this. Are we gonna get the best one here? Woo! Oh, I need to peel out, and Tails is here to help us. Weirdly enough, recent version of this that came out, Tails would have disappeared right there, because there was an error with the level wrap. They fixed it in this version that came out just like this past weekend. Like, there's a lot of development still going on this version of the game. Game Forever actually just posted a video that showed what it would be like if they restored going into the special stages having the same fade-out effect as the original, where it has more of a red fade, and I didn't even realize that was missing from this. But now I need it. It's just interesting, the little bits you don't notice from this 2013 version, which is what it is at its core, until you see. Oh, I missed. I like to bounce off that one.
Yeah, like, that's one of my favorite things about playing through Halo 1 on Master Chief Collection. Because it's like, oh yeah, this is exactly what the game was like when I was 10. Like, this is so cool. I love seeing it in, 1080p or whatever. And then you press the button to switch to classic graphics, and you're like, oh my god, we thought this was good game graphics back then? What? Like, it's just, like, really cool when you can see, like, a remaster next to the original. You get to compare and contrast all those little details.
I feel that way about, like, all of the PS1 games. Like, comparing the original Spyro to the Reignited ones, like, in my memory, Spyro looked a lot more like Reignited than it actually does. But to be fair, like, Spyro is very, like, well-textured in that, even the original. Yeah,
I've definitely found that games like Spyro and Super Mario 64 that were a lot simpler with their texture design have aged a lot better than something like Metal Gear Solid that tried to be a little more realistic.
Yeah. It's also like Final Fantasy VIII that went, like, way more detailed than its resolution could handle. It just didn't age as well as, like, 7 did, which had more of a SNES-style sprite-style polygons.
Yeah, and hot take alert, I feel like 7 has also aged really badly because the polygons are really garbage quality on the overworld models, and you can tell in HD. You couldn't tell on a CRT, but now you can tell that Cloud's arm is just kind of floating there. Yeah. And that's wild. And we used to think that was groundbreaking stuff.
A counterpoint, Sonic Adventures models on the Dreamcast version look way better than the glossy updated ones on GameCube and DX. I will always feel that way. They've had so much more character.
Yeah, a lot of the first-party Sega games for Dreamcast like still hold up very well if you run them through like something that can upscale them. Just because they're a lot more simple and animated for the most part. Like Choo Choo Rocket still looks amazing.
I don't know what happens if I go super. I don't have speed-up music for this. Anyway, that was 2 minutes and 6 seconds of thrilling gameplay. But it was to Azure Lake, which is like one of the best music choices Pocket Adventure did. Now we lost our buddy Tails. It's fine.
Bye, Tails.
I also didn't point out, like, that's the first time Tails ever flew an airplane. And I think it's actually really cute how he spent the... No! Ah, we beefed it. He spends the entire time just looking around like he's always, like, checking his mirrors. Like, he's so focused in. Got to have another look at that. It's okay, though. He'll be back. He'll be fine. He knows what to do. Okay. There are 2 points in Wing Fortress where I always get beefed. And we got hit by one of them, but we now passed both of them. Nope. Okay. Not a good time to look at the chat. The music is Death Egg, which might be weird. Because there is a Death Egg in this. It's Death Egg Act 1. For reasons. But that's what Aerobase is in, Pocket Adventure. So one of the songs we didn't get to hear is Flying Battery Act 2, because that was used for a Knuckles battle. We don't fight Knuckles in Sonic 2. We can also skip this cutscene. But I put it in Death Egg, since it would be more appropriate in Wing Fortress anyway. And I missed the fourth hit.
There's my boy. There's Metal Sonic.
There's Mecha Sonic. That ain't Metal. Metal's better.
You're not wrong, and I apologize for mistaking the identity of Mecha Sonic.
I did have to manually set it so that it would play Doomsday Zone for Mecha Sonic, though, as it does in, if you want the hang glider in Sonic 2, you have to play the 8-bit version, by the way. It doesn't function very well in that, so we prefer Sonic Mania's hang glider percent. What was I saying? I beefed it. I got distracted, I was beefed it.
See, I routinely forget that Sonic 2 even came out on the Master System.
Good.
Because I played Master System exactly 0 times in my life.
The thing is, Sonic 2 8-bit, probably my least favorite classic Sonic game of all time. So, that's fine.
Yeah, I've heard it's not great.
We're maybe bringing the hot takes, but, like, this is where it's at for Sonic 2's. Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble are where it's at with the 8-bit. Those are some good games. Also, like, this boss, I should probably talk about how I'm just shredding through Eggman's armor with the Insta-Shield. This is the bane of every kid's existence. It was the bane of my existence. Oh my god, I'm embarrassed. I can't believe I died on that hit.
Okay, you still have 9 lives to figure it out.
We're like, that was a hit away from, like, calling time. And I'm just flustered.
Oh no, now you only have 8 lives.
Alright, it's fine. Like, earlier today, I got a 1-cycle Death Egg robot. That's the reason I keep dying. I haven't gotten the 1 cycle yet, and the game wants me to show that off. But we gotta get our gaming here. We're getting to hear Doomsday a lot, though. That's the benefit of it. Okay. For real this time. This is just like what happened with my 3-air showcase, I'm realizing. Except not as brutal. I'm just goofing around. This isn't a 1 cycle. It's fine. Yeah, I liked Sonic 1 8-bit too, as well. Just, I don't know what it was about Sonic 2 8-bit, what they did. Okay, now, hold with me here. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. The auto splitter actually does not go on the fade out. It goes when the cutscene starts. Why? That's how it has to be programmed, I imagine, because it has to be the full fade out, and that's technically the full fade out, I believe. So yeah. We skipped the cutscene, the important Tails cutscene. I'm sorry, I didn't even consider that. But Tails strapped a rocket onto the tornado, and he was able to fly Sonic up to that rocket jet that Eggman was escaping in. That's how we got to the Death Egg. Now he's coming to check on us because we're best friends. We'll get to. We'll see the rocket. There it is. He juiced this plane up. Heck yeah, he did. But we can fly now because we're supersonic, I guess. This is also the first game that Super was introduced in, by the way. That's probably an important thing. So they added the Dragon Ball Z reference, the same game they added the Star Wars reference.
I mean, those are both culturally relevant things.
Yeah. Okay. The credits theme here is from Sonic Jam. Well, I put Sonic Jam music in where I could. It's not good though. I think now is time that we took like a brief respite before we get into our next game.
Yeah, that is true. We are going to take a quick little break to switch over and make sure everything is set up because we do have to completely change game clients. So if anyone has to go grab another plate of Thanksgiving food, water, bio break, whatever you need to do, go do that. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the second half of our Tales-centric showcase. So see you back here in a couple minutes. Well, alright everyone, that is another Attract mode in the books. Thanks again, Vale, for the showcases, and also big thanks to NBZ and Ren for taking time out of Thanksgiving to hold down the backstage side of the fort. So, like I said, got the usual bit of housekeeping and reminders before we go off to raid. So, here we go. If you somehow made it this far and have managed to not piece together who we are, hi, I'm Okapi. We are Lady Arcaders. It's an all-women gaming collective open to any and all women in gaming. This is Attract Mode, which is our premiere show. Runs Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday afternoons, 2 p.m. Eastern. Follow us on Twitch, Lady Arcaders on all of the big social media sites, and join our public ! Discord to stay up to date on all of what we're doing. And if you're a lady and an arcader, but somehow not both of those things together, a Lady Arcader, you can find instructions to join the cozy private community in that Discord as well. And if you're not a girl gamer, and you still want to follow us and hang out, the public Discord is open to you as well. No matter who you are, we appreciate any and all support, no matter how you bring it. If you have something in mind for Attract Mode, we do have some slots open for December and an effectively infinite number of slots available after that. So if you have something in mind for the holidays, now is the time to get it in. As long as it's game related, we're interested in hearing about it. Just in the short time that I've been on staff, I've seen speedruns, of course, but there's also been game development streams, unhinged BlazBlue rants, preparations for other marathons and events, arts and crafts, Sim 4 house design, rhythm game deep dives, shameless plug for my own thing on the FM, wink wink nudge nudge. And there's just a whole lot of great stuff that the Lady Arcaders community is showing off and talking about. So you can find all that information on how to get your own showcase in on the website ladyarcaders.com. So going back to Attract Mode, next episode, as you can see on the screen, is going to be Sunday, the 26th of November, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Vale will be back on comms as Eliza and NBZ race through a first playthrough of Air, Memories of Old. So follow the Twitch channel, join the Discord, follow us on all the sites. If you're lazy, you can find all the links at ladyarcaders.com on the sidebar. All those places you can get up-to-date information on what we're doing. And some of those sites are even good enough at times to convert it to your local time zone. Cool, huh? And then, of course, Vale told me to plug myself, and I am polite and do it after I plug everything else. I'm still Okapi, much to the delight of my friends and the chagrin of my enemies. If you're already following me, cool. If you're not, you can find me on Twitch. I'm sure someone's going to plug that into this. Oh, it's already been put in the chat. Cool. Good for that. You can follow me on Twitch. I mainly stream rhythm games. And everywhere else, go to IIDX, Roman numeral 2, dx.pro, and that just redirects you to my link tree, and you can find my Blue Sky and all the other places that I hang out on the internet. And that's all we have for today. We are going to be rating GDQ. There is a hotfix going on that Ren is part of. Ren actually had to dip out a little early to be ready to go handle that. So we're going to go and support Ren on this hotfix event happening this evening. As usual, take care of yourselves, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you in the next one.